Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 3rd of December 2018, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this first winter's Traders Espresso, where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few charts, and see how they're performing right now. So, and yep, what to potentially expect from some of them. So before we start jumping in, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on is Nikkei 225. Now looking at this one, of course you can see that today the candle kind of managed to break this key important area of resistance here near the 22,585 zone. Is kind of closed slightly just around it. So what we're going to keep an eye on here is, of course, we're going to keep on monitoring this one, keep on looking at higher levels, because you can see it, since it reversed here on the 21st of November, it continues to push higher. It's moving up nicely here. Of course, overall, let's not forget that we're still below this this long-term, or should I say more medium-term upside support line taken from the low of the 26th of March this year. So in a way, we could see maybe see a bit of a continuation here to the upside, where we could test this psychological 23,050 level. As you can see, in the past, it acted as a very nice area of resistance. It kind of held the price down here, especially from let's say looking at this May here, from May, the end of May until the September, mid-September. So when it kind of broke it to the upside here, but then actually we can see that in October we caught back below it, and at the moment it seems that it wants to continue pushing towards that level again. I mean, we'll see, of course, if that happens or not, but at the moment, judging from this picture, what we're seeing here on a daily chart, we could see a bit of like continuation here to the upside, where we could potentially test the 23,050 level. So for now, keep your eyes on that one. If, let's say, this starts dropping below lower, and keep your eyes on this little area here at around 22,240 level. So let me just quickly adjust this here. There we go. So keep your eyes on that one, because if this gets broken, this would automatically place the index placed below the 200 EMA here, shown as the black line. So in a way, we could maybe see some further declines, where we could then maybe successfully test the 21,920 level, or even actually going all the way here back towards this very short-term upside support line taken from the 26th of October. So yep, for now guys, so of course keep your eyes on this price action. Certainly the index is already closed, but still it will be interesting to see how this opens up tomorrow, and if we're actually going to continue pushing towards this already becoming psychological 23,050 level. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. Looking at gold quickly, gold is having a nice run already this morning, so continues to push higher. Now, judging from this picture, of course, you can see that since its reversal on the around the 16th of August, so basically mid-August, the commodity, the precious metal, continues to make these higher lows, and of course it's trying to push higher. The only problem here is that it's struggling with with creating higher highs. So you can see that it was kind of kept on moving lower here, even though yep, it was at the same time creating higher lows. So for now, looking at this 4-hour chart from the very short-term perspective, you can see that it's trying to push higher. What we've got here marked here is the 1230 level, this would be our breaking point here. This would be our gateway towards higher levels if the commodity decides to break it nicely here to the upside. As you can see, also the 1230 is near the R2, so the resistance 2 on the pivots. So the next potential area that we're going to be keeping an eye on here is the 1236, which is marked here by the highs of the 7th of November. And if that doesn't stop it, then further acceleration to the upside could lead towards the 1240 level. So in that area, of course. But for now, guys, like I said, it's trying to push higher. It's very interesting right now, looking quite bullish. But again, for us to get more comfortable with higher levels, we need to see a nice good break above the 1230 level. So keep your eyes on that one. On the downside, for us, let's say, to start examining lower levels again, we would probably need to see a drop here below this area, below the 1219, 1220 zone. So this way we could then target previous lows here, especially the 1212 area, which, as you can see, acted as a nice area of support. So around that level, around the 1212, kind of never closed below that, as you can see here. So we could then target the 1212 level if we get a drop below the 1220. But for now, it seems that the downside is slightly off the table. Jumping into DXY, so the dollar index, you can see, is sharply declining now. Still overall, the index is above its short-term upside support line here, taken from the 24th of September. So in a way, I mean, at the moment, of course, we're going to be targeting this upside support line. But if the index fails to break below this, then we could see maybe the bulls stepping in again, potentially maybe driving back up this index again. So the only issue here is that we already have like several touches here of this upside support line. Certainly we could see maybe a break here below this upside support line, like we had something like here, like a false breakout. But to be honest, keep your eyes on this little area here at around 96.63, something like that. So if we get a nice drop here below, or should I probably say a nice close below this level here, especially looking at the daily chart, let me just jump into this one. So if we get a nice daily close below this 96.63, approximately there, or in a way you could probably just round it up towards this 60 level. So 96.60, if we get a nice drop here in the close below this level, then this could potentially change the course here, and we could see maybe further declines where we could then aim for the 96.40 or even lower. So for now, be very cautious on this one. If this upside support line holds, then that's perfect for the bulls. But again, like I said, for us to get probably more comfortable with higher levels, we would need to see a nice good reversal back above the of course, reversal to the upside, but then a nice good strong move above the 97.30 level, which was marked here by the high of the 30th of November. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Certainly it's very interesting right now and to see what's going to happen with this upside support line. But be very careful. Jumping into Aussie dollar, now this one is well, I can see that we had a nice gap, opening gap here already this morning. So the pair continues to try, and well, it seems that it wants to push higher. Certainly you can see the pair almost managed to touch this area of resistance at around 0.7382. So basically, in other words, it touched the 0.7380 level, and so the level acted as a very nice area of resistance. But certainly, if this gets broken, if the 0.7382 level gets broken, and that was the previous high here, you can see it was last time tested around the 21st of August this year. So if we get a nice push above this, then this could be opening the path towards much higher levels, and probably in the slightly longer term, or should I say from the longer term perspective, we could then target this little area here near the 0.7450 level, so approximately there, which was the high, near the high of the 8th of August. So it's a bit of course, a bit of a long shot here, but nevertheless quite an important area of resistance. So keep your eyes on that one. But again, for us to see that level, we need to see a good push above the 0.7382. On the downside, now this is where it's interesting. Certainly, it would be interesting to see a filling of this little gap that we had. Well, a little, quite a big gap, I would probably say, relatively big. So it would be interesting to see this, like I said, this gap getting filled. Certainly, if the momentum is going to remain to the upside today, then the filling of this gap probably could be left for later days, so for the future, and in a way, if we do get a move back down here and we start breaking below the R2 here, where you can see this is from where the pair rebounded today. So a drop below the R2, which is around the 0.7345 level, a drop below that could push this pair back down here, maybe even going here towards the 0.7325. Let me just quickly mark that level here. This one here, which is the next, not far from the R1, or even actually going all the way here and filling the gap and touching the 0.7315, which also could be a nice good level to test. So, but again, for us to see such a scenario, we need to get a nice good drop below this R2 level, which is near the 0.7345 level. So keep your eyes on that one. Looking at the euro dollar also had a nice gap here and now is pushing higher. Let me just quickly jump into a daily here just to show you what's happening. So basically, last week we had a nice run here to the upside. We managed to kind of almost reach this downside resistance line, this short-term downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 24th of September. But on Friday, as you can see, the pair was met by heavy selling, where it managed to drop almost towards the psychological 113 level, just which fell shy of about 5 pips of touching that level. So, and then we're seeing this nice reversal back to the upside. So the big question here is, of course, is this downside resistance line going to act more as a tentative one, and we're just going to see a nice good pop here above this, or actually is it going to hold again and we will see maybe a further decline here to the downside? So from a very short-term perspective, of course, you can see that it continues to make these higher lows, and it continues to push here towards that line here, towards this downside resistance line. But for us to get more comfortable with much higher levels, let me just jump into a 4-hour chart and just show you what's happening here. So for us to get comfortable with higher levels, we would need to get a nice good pop here above this 114 level. So the 114, this is the one that we're going to be keeping an eye on. If we do get a nice pop above this, then we'll aim for the these highs here, especially this one here around the 114.35 mark, approximately there, which is also kind of coinciding here with this R2. And if that doesn't hold, well, the path could be open towards the 114.70, which was marked by the high of the 20th of November. If, let's say, this suddenly reverses back down and drops below, let's say, the pivot here, now certainly be very cautious, be very careful. Maybe you could see further declines, but for a better confirmation of further lower levels, we would need to see a nice good drop below the 113 level, and only then we'll consider a possible move towards the 112.70, or even actually going all the way here towards the lows of November. So keep your eyes on that one for now, guys. Let's see how this plays out, and should be quite an interesting day today. And the last pair I wanted to quickly touch on, and that's USDCAD. Now, looking at this one, and I'm not even going to jump into a 4-hour, into the daily chart. So this 4-hour chart kind of is already drawing us a very nice picture. So as you can see, we've managed to break the this upside support line, this very short-term upside support line taken from the lows of the 1st of October, and certainly now we're moving towards the 1.3175 zone, which was, you can see that in the past it acted as a very nice area of support. So we're currently moving towards that, and you can see by looking at this 4-hour chart, this area is also not far from the 200 EMA. So basically, this is going to be our gateway here. If we get a nice break here below that level, that level, this could potentially mean that the pair is ready to move even lower. So we could see maybe further declines towards the 130.125, or even actually going much lower here towards the 130.85, which was marked here by the lows of the 8th of November. So that's why, guys, we're going to try to play it safe here. We're going to keep on monitoring this, the 131.75 area, even though, like I said, we already saw this break here, break below the upside support line. Certainly don't exclude the possibility of this pair kind of maybe retracing back down here, maybe even testing the upside support line from underneath, and then maybe if it struggles to overcome it, then we could see maybe another leg of selling here. So but for now, be very careful. We are keeping a close eye on, like I said, on the 131.75. If that gets broken straight away, then yep, like I said, this could be strong downwards momentum here on this pair, and we could see like further declines here towards the 130.125 area. So keep your eyes on that one. In order for us, let's say, to start examining higher levels again, then well, we would need to see a strong move back above this upside support line and a close above the 132.65 area, something like that, approximately there, and only then we'll aim for a bit higher. So for now, be very cautious. Certainly for now, looking at this picture, it's more bearish than bullish. So, but like I said, anything can happen. This is just as the start of the day, and let's see how that performs later on. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. And if you want to join me later on at my Traders Tea Time, and that's 14:15 GMT time. So, yep, feel free to join in. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.